Hey guys, it's YSO256 here, back with another What If video. In fact, this is the first one for 2022. So we're going to be starting this time off with continuing on with the second part of What If the Dragon Balls Couldn't Bring People Back to Life series. If you haven't seen the first part, guys, I'd recommend you go see that first. But if you'd like, I shall be giving you a quick summary of what happened in the last part before we begin with this part. So, let's get started. So, last time we started off in original Dragon Ball, where Goku had to come to terms with not being able to revive any of his friends who had been killed by the evil King Piccolo. He then trained harder than before during the time skip to ensure that peace would last on Earth forever. However, things naturally got turned upside down once his brother Raditz comes to Earth, and Piccolo and Goku are forced into making an alliance, causing Goku to lose his life, just like in the original. And all the events, up to the point of Namek, happen the same, with only two differences. One being that Goku has to ask for his 24 hours to come back to Earth earlier than the Buu saga, and in this timeline, Vegeta has been killed in his battle with Goku by a times 10 Kaioken Kamehameha, which Goku was able to perform because he didn't have to worry about his body being burned out as much as if he was alive. The Z-Fighters then went to Namek and tried to bring back everyone who had been killed with Porunga. However, sadly, he told them that this was a universal law, that no set of Dragon Balls could resurrect somebody. Sad with this, they cut their losses and wished for Porunga to seal Frieza and all of his empire into another dimension. Seeing as Frieza outclassed them in every way, there was no way they could defeat him otherwise. This meant that peace could reign throughout the universe. They then returned to Earth, and that is where we begin things today. So let's get started with the next part, guys. So, we begin things with the Z-Fighters gathered at Mount Paozu in order to have a funeral for Goku's honour. For you see, seeing as he couldn't be brought to life, they decided to have a funeral for Goku and all the other Z-Fighters who had lost their lives in the last couple of years. It was a mournful and heart-aching scene. Even Piccolo was a bit conflicted about this. Yes, granted he was happy he had killed his rival, but he thought surely he'd be brought back with the Dragon Balls. They get to carry on fighting. He'd get to still have his rival. But sadly this wasn't the case. Gohan, Bulma, and Chi also spoke fondly of how Goku had been such a great friend, father, and husband. However, as the Z-Fighters were about to leave, a strange individual shouted from the distance, "Hey! Wait! I need to speak with you guys!" They all turn around in confusion, wondering where the voice came from. They see off in the distance a young gentleman sporting lavender hair, a sword, and a jacket with the Capsule Corp logo on it for some strange reason. He then comes closer to them, and they all are wondering the same question. Who is this guy? Did he work for Capsule Corp? Was that the reason for the jacket? It was the only logical explanation, they thought. Piccolo then spoke out, asking the question which was on everybody's minds. Who are you? And what do you want with us? The individual then says 3 things. My name is Trunks. I've come from the future, and I need to speak with Son Goku. Everyone was confused at hearing this. Piccolo then spoke for the group and told this individual that Goku had died a few years ago, thanks to the death of his brother, and having to be killed by Piccolo in order to get rid of said brother. Trunks was then shocked to hear this. He then asked why didn't they try to bring Goku back, and they simply say that the Dragon Balls can't do that. They can't bring anybody back. Trunks was shocked by this. He thought, was Goku killed because he came back in time? Did his time meddling affect the past? Surely Goku was supposed to not die yet. He was supposed to die of a heart virus, not this. Trunks then put this off, and then asked to speak with Piccolo individually. Piccolo agreed, and they flew off to a wasteland. They landed, and Trunks then spoke to Piccolo. As I said, Piccolo, my name is Trunks. I've come from the future. And I've come to warn you all that in 3 years' time, a couple of androids from the bedunked Red Ribbon Army will come and kill everyone on Earth. Piccolo was confused at this. Androids? Red Ribbon Army? Was that army that Goku had defeated many years ago? He asked Trunks this, and he said yes. One of them survived. A doctor named Dr. Giroux. He will create 2 androids who will kill everyone, excluding myself, Bulma, and Gohan. Piccolo then asks, how does he know all this? And he says simply that it happened in his time, and he knows it will happen here as well. He thinks that because Goku is dead already, they will just destroy Earth, seeing as they would want to kill Goku, but they would refuse this, obviously. Piccolo then says an idiot of realizing what needs to happen. We've got to train up! Harder than ever before! Trunks then nods, agreeing with this. However, then he realizes that Piccolo and everyone else, they were weak compared to him. Compared to the androids, they would go down in seconds. He then makes the ultimate decision. It might not be good for his timeline, and his mother might be in danger, but he has to ensure that this timeline is safe first. I'm staying here, he says. I will help you train, get strong enough to help fight the androids. Piccolo nods, and they fly back to the OZ fighters. They tell them about the situation, and they prepare to train for 3 years. They know there are 2 things they need to do first, of most importance. First, they need to get stronger. And above all else, they need to make Gohan into a Super Saiyan. For he and Trunks will be the only ones who could truly defeat the androids with that power. And that is where we're going to be leaving things, guys, for right now. So, what did you think of this part? Did you enjoy the heartfelt scene at the beginning with the Z-Fighters mourning someone's death? Because we don't really ever see that in the original timeline. They don't actually have a funeral for somebody. They just bring them back with the Dragon Balls. And what do you think is going to happen with Trunks here? Will they be able to get strong enough to defeat the androids? And will they be able to get Gohan to become a Super Saiyan? Well, you'll just have to find out in the next part of this series, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I shall see you in the next part. Or what if that I do. Bye, guys.